Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Instagram Live. I'm going to go ahead and get logged in as well. We have a special guest today, so we're going to make sure we get him on board. And then we'll go ahead and get started. We're talking about buying a car today and all that it entails. So we're going to see when Nathaniel joins us, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome. I see a few other friends joining us, and we'll see. We're looking for our special guest. He's going to join us and be the brains today. And there, I see he joins. You see Nathaniel. We'll get you started. So let's see if we get him going. We're waiting to get Nathaniel live with us, and then we'll get started with our lesson about buying a car and all that it entails. Is he on? I'm trying to see if on my phone. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, there you are. Thank you so much for joining us. And those of you that are joining us as well, Nathaniel will be doing the math for us today and the thinking, but please feel free to join him. You can find our, our activity pages on our JA website under our Instagram. But Nathaniel, are you ready to be the brains for me today?
I'm ready.
I'm so glad. Those of you who are joining us, feel free to chime in and have some comments. So this week our theme, Nathaniel, has been financial literacy, and that seems kind of a big word, but being really aware of money and finances. So today we're talking about buying a car. And, kids in high school, in college, they might have, borrowed their parents' car. Maybe they were lucky enough to have a car handed down to them, but at some point in your life, it's time to buy a car. Do you think that's going to happen to you in the next few years?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah. So it's easy when you're in high school to just kind of go to school, do your thing. Maybe you have a job, but you might not be aware of all of the expenses that it takes to, to live, and especially to have a car. So that's really what we're going to talk about. And I know you are in college, so you kind of had a taste of budgeting and what, the real world costs are. So can you see there's a difference going from high school and living at home and college and having a little more responsibility about your finances?
Yeah, definitely. There's a noticeable difference.
Yeah, and the older you get and the more, responsibility you have with your finances, the more it's going to be like, okay, this is good to have a plan and to learn some things. So any of our viewers, do you think you guys will buy a car someday? Let us know. Maybe you already have a car. Maybe you really want a car. But we're going to go ahead and talk through this activity, and the lesson, or the activity is talking about Ben and his dad. So we're going to help Ben make up a decision. But first I'll just read a little bit, and then I'll have Nathaniel, you do some math for me. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. So having a car is something many teens may dream of, but their imaginations may not include expenses that are part of the car owning experience. It's really nice in theory to have a car, and then we're talking about the nuts and bolts, the literal nuts and bolts of having a car. Owning a car means paying for insurance, gasoline, oil changes, and maintenance. I know you're kind of aware of that, Nathaniel, already. If we buy a used car, we also might have some repairs to deal with. All these expenses can take a big bite out of our budgets. In fact, in the United States, people spend almost as much on their cars as on food and medical care combined.
Wow.
Surprising?
It's a lot.
Yeah. Expenses are part of owning a car. What good is a car without a set of tires?
Mm-hmm.
How much, right? Economists call the tires that go with a car complementary goods, or items that go together. So can you think, Nathaniel, of another complementary good that would go with a car besides tires?
Maybe like if you need to get the seats reupholstered, or you need to do some maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. Also, mufflers or buying gas. Buying gas is especially important to consider because the price can change. It can fluctuate a lot, sometimes daily. Back in the summer of 2008, gas prices rose to more than $4 a gallon. Yikes.
Wow.
And can you imagine? When gas prices spike, we need to adjust our budgets accordingly and cut down on other expenses to fill our gas tanks. So we're going to read about Ben and his dad, and then we're going to use, Nathaniel, your input and brain to do some math and talk about some cars. So it says, one Saturday afternoon, Ben and his dad were looking through the local ads for used cars. Ben just received his driver's license and was eager to have his own car. Now, it is nice having your own car, don't you think, Nathaniel?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's really lovely. Keep in mind, Ben, said his dad, that the price of buying a car is just one part of the expense of owning it. Keeping gas in the tank will add to the cost, as will repairs and unexpected expenses, a muffler or a battery. I think we should make a list of all the costs that you'll have each month, and then you can decide on what you can afford. Do you think that was a good advice for Ben?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do we have any comments saying they have cars or they want cars? Okay. Well, come on over, take a look at this. Here are some estimated monthly expenses for Ben. Okay, so for gas, the estimate 10 gallons at $2.75 a gallon for 4 weeks. Do you feel like doing some math, Nathaniel, or do you want me to tell you the answer?
Is that about $110?
You got it. Thank you. So $110 a month on gas. Okay, so now for insurance, the estimate was $1,200 a year. So how much is that a month?
That's $100 a month.
There you go. Thank you. And then regular maintenance, the oil changes, tune-ups, estimate about $500 a year. What would that be per month?
Be a little bit more than $40.
Yeah. So $42. Good estimating. License plates and city permits, something that we don't really think about a lot, but you need those. $120 a year estimate. What would that be per month?
$10 a month.
You got it. And then we have incidentals, tires, brakes, mufflers, about $200 a year. What would that be per month?
Somewhere around $20 a month.
Yeah. And here's exactly $17, but great estimating. So you thought you were done with school for the year. I'm making you use your brain. I love it. So don't worry, I'm not going to make you add all that up in your head unless you want to. And any of our viewers, if you want to add that up, maybe you feel like it. Maybe you really feel like doing math. We're going to add that up and have an estimate of how much expenses they'll have per month. So anyone want to take a guess? Nathaniel, do you want me to add it up for you, or do you feel like doing that math?
You can go ahead and do it.
I can go ahead and do it. Okay, $279 a month. Anyone out there, maybe they had a calculator. You can totally use it. That's fine. Okay, so about $280, right? $279. So Ben knows he'll have to get a loan to buy a car. He figures he can make a down payment of $1,000 and can afford a monthly payment of $230. Added to the $279 in car expenses, that is how much together? $230 and $279. If I did my math.
$609.
I have $509. Is that what you got?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's okay. No, I just jotted down my cheat sheet of answers here. Okay, so $509 a month that he needs to budget for his car. He's like, whoa, the regular car expenses are more than the car payments. Thank goodness I have a good job. So in any part of your life, kind of having a budget of what to expect and how much you can afford is really good. He was estimating $230 for the payment. Okay, so we're going to go to the next part of this activity, and we're going to use a loan calculator that I did all the calculations, but here it is. It's bankrate.com. There's a lot of auto loan calculators out there online, so you can check those out. But what you want to do, you can plug in the down payment of $1,000. We use a 10% interest rate and how many months? So a 4-year loan. So knowing that, we're going to use that information in a minute. So here, Ben is looking at 4 cars. So Nathaniel, I'm going to read through these, and then I'm going to get your input based on how much money Ben has to spend and what the cars are, and we're going to make a suggestion for Ben. And anyone watching, if you have a question or a suggestion of which car you think Ben should pick, feel free to make a comment. So here are the 4. Now, this activity was made a couple years ago, so these years of cars, they are kind of older. But actually, if you're buying your first car, you're probably not going to buy a brand new car, don't you think? Yeah. So looking at a used car is a good idea. So car one, it says it's a 2001 two-door hatchback, air conditioning, CD player, 5-speed, 90,000 miles, new tires, needs some body work, runs good. And do you see how much they're charging for that?
4,200.
4,200. Okay. Or best offer. So do you know what that means? Or best offer?
I do not.
Okay, so that means if you were really interested in that car, but you only wanted to spend 3,800, you can say, "Hi, Samar, I'm really interested in your car. I'd like to come and take a look at it." And then you would say, my highest amount I would be willing to pay is 3,800. And then Samar might be like, "Well, I want 4,100," and you can say, "Well, 3,900." You can kind of finagle that. You can bargain. So this is willing to have a best offer. So if you want to offer a lower price, they might go for it. Okay, so car number two is a 2004, so a little newer. A subcompact sedan. It's automatic. It's sunroof. 50,000 miles. New brakes. Good condition. Runs good. 4,800 or best offer. Okay, so that's car two. Car number three, it's a 2006 SUV, automatic, air conditioning, great sound system, 30,000 miles, like new, very clean, 7,000 firm. So what do you suppose that means, Nathaniel?
That means they're not willing to go anything below 7,000.
Yep, they're firm on that price. Okay, and car number four, it's a 2007 convertible. That would be kind of fun. Automatic, it's a 5-change CD player, sunroof, power seats, windows, new exhaust, 50,000 miles, stored in the winter, $10,000 or best offer. Okay, so there's a little wiggle room. Okay, so what I did is we have those 4 cars. I went ahead and using the calculator, I figured out what the monthly payments would be. So for car one, $93, 96, 152, and 228. So I kind of already did the math. And then if we're going to go ahead and add in, remember the $279 was the monthly expenses. So if Ben decided on car one, the total monthly would be about 372. This would be 375. This would be 451 and 507. Is that helpful to have what it would be monthly for everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Nathaniel, do you see any car? Does it jump out? Does anything jump out that would be not such a good choice?
Well, the car number 4, the really expensive convertible, that seems like a much higher than you're expecting to budget.
Yeah, I would agree. Any of our viewers agree? I would say what, thumbs down to the car
Mm-hmm.
4. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just put a big X. I would agree. That's a little higher than what he was expecting. 507. That might be too much. What are your thoughts about car number 1? Do you think? Go ahead.
Well, cars number 1 and 2 are really similar in monthly payment. They're just like $3 off.
Yeah. And then, did you notice car number 1 is a 2001 and a car
Mhm.
number 2 is 2004. So for me, the older the car, the more likely there's going to be some repairs that need to be done. So do you think car number 1 is a viable option, or do you think we should cancel car number 1?
Well, if it's between car 1 and 2, car number 2 is newer. It had significantly fewer miles. So I think we shouldn't even bother with car number 1.
That I would agree. If anyone else has their opinion, their input, car number 1, yeah, and it's car number 2 is a little newer. Okay, so now we're looking at car 2 and 3, the 375 or 451 a month. And if we take a look at here's car 2 and 3. Now both of these say or best offer, or no, I'm sorry. Car number 2 is his best offer. Car number 3, there might be some wiggle room. So that might be kind of a good thing to know. Take a look at car number 2 and 3, Nathaniel, to see how many miles they have. Do you have any questions or concerns about how many miles? Which one looks like a better choice just based on the miles?
Well, let's see. Car number 3 has 20,000 fewer miles. So that means it's also a little bit newer, so it's less likely to have problems. but it
Yeah,
is
that's
more expensive, and the owner doesn't seem to have any wiggle room with the price.
that's true. That is something to keep in mind. So we have, it looks like between car 2 and 3, there's some pros and cons. Anything else about car number 2 that you think, this might be the way to go, or what do you think Ben should do?
I think Ben should go with car number 2 because it's a lower monthly payment. It's pretty comparable to car number 3, and it's a little bit cheaper.
Okay, so you think car number 2, you're saving a little money, and car number 2, it does say best offer. So if there's some wiggle room. If you can, maybe if Ben could get the price down, then he could save the difference and put it in savings if there are repair issues or whatever. But I also think, car number 3, I think definitely between car number 2 and 3 would be the best choices. Car number 3 being a little newer. Even though the price is firm, it looks like it says it's like new, it's very clean, so it might be in a little better condition. So do you see how it's not an easy, yes or no, black or white choice when it comes to car buying?
Yeah, it's really
There's a
complicated.
lot of things to think about. There's a lot of variables. And specifically when it comes to buying a car for Ben in this situation, or for you or for anyone, you would want to go and drive that car. You could have a mechanic check it out and see, okay, this is a little older car, but maybe a mechanic can say, this is in great condition, or these are the issues that I noticed. So yeah, and what I found is it's okay to, if you like, oh, I really like car number 3, check it out, have a mechanic check it out, and then just wait. You don't need to be impulsive. Make a thoughtful, methodical choice of what's going to be best for my situation. Any other comments from you, Nathaniel?
No.
No. Okay. Any of our viewers? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nathaniel, for joining us. I appreciate you doing some math for me, and also I appreciate your input. You're kind of at the age where this is going to be important in your life, so hopefully you can take some of this information with you, and when it's time to buy a car, it'll help you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Nathaniel. Thanks, everyone else, for joining us. We'll see you next week for more lessons.